Hey guys, I'm Greg. Welcome back to my place. Well, right now I'm actually in my shop that I work in for my real job. Want to show you guys how to fix a broken recoil. This goes on one of my pieces of equipment. I have some other pieces of equipment here in my shop I need to fix and be in a different video. This one, at first I thought the rope had just pulled out of the recoil, so I started trying the tension to see how it's going to reel. And at first there's tension, and then I can hear something let go inside. So I am going to have to pull this screw out, get inside there, and fix the clock spring is what I suspect is wrong. So I'm just going to put this aside. Get my channel locks, vice grips, I mean. Give it a turn. Actually, I already started loosening that screw bit. Out. So, well, okay, there's two things going on here right now. So number one, this tab should be folded up and inside here, and I had fixed this before, but it let go. So you can see right here, this long piece of metal is flat. It should be curved up inside this groove. And secondly, this should be over here on this side of the hub, so that as it comes around, it can snag onto this tab to put tension on the clock spring. I don't know if I have what this needs is this clock spring needs to come out. I got to put a new clock spring in it. I need to see if I have one. Right. I don't know. And okay, success. I was able to find a new clock spring. So when you first get a new one of these, they come with this wire around it that holds it all together, and that's great for putting it in, but there may come a time whenever you're working on a recoil that, of course, the clock spring is already inside the thing, and when you take it out of the housing of the recoil, sometimes this hangs on, and the whole thing, when you try to take it apart, this unfolds and goes everywhere. So I'm going to show you how to handle that whenever that happens. So without hurting myself, I'm going to remove this wire that's holding it together, and I'll show you how to put it back in to this after it's been all apart. All right, here we go. So this is what you've got now, right? So you're gonna find the notch here. This is gonna fit into here. So get that in there like that, and then start feeding the coil into this. Hold it, and then just work it around. Can you see that? Mm-hmm. Hold it there, and just coil by coil, feed it in. Sometimes this is real greasy and oily, and you run a risk of cutting your finger on the thin piece of metal. as it's slippery. But eventually you get down, and there you go. So now, this one on the inside, that's a little large. I need to tighten that up, because I don't want that to be that wide to hook onto the tab right here on this one. And then I'm gonna have to put the, there we go, that's better. Now I gotta put the rope on this. So this was the rope that was on it. Somehow it came out with the knot intact, and I gotta cut the knot off and try again. Sometimes when the rope flays out like this is a little gross, but you can wet on it, get it wet, or you can use Teflon tape to wrap around the end, hold it there. So then you can you can feed that through the hole, so that you can get it to go through the hole just like that. Tie it off like a knot, pull it back, start wrapping. Now the other side, I'm gonna have to, actually I did this in reverse. Take this side out of the handle. Should have started here. So whenever you get about like that, a lot of times the recoil will come with a notch. Put the rope inside the notch right here so you can hold it there. And put it back in the thing, back in the housing, and do a little test fit to see if it's going to get tension on it. If it's grabbing, and this is not grabbing, so I need to pull down closer to the hub, about like that there. Now we can try it again, see if we can get tension. Oh yeah, okay, there's tension now. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, I can put this back together before I put tension on it. Figure out, sometimes this takes me a couple of tries to get this right. So these notches, this one and this one, are gonna line up with on the outside of the dogs, the metal dogs. Put your screw back in there. Make sure you got your spring in there underneath. All right, so whenever I push this, now the dog should splay out. There we go, so that's good. So now, I'm not gonna put this through the hole yet. I wanna put some tension on it. So I'm gonna put a couple of turns on it. Brand new clock spring is really tight. Okay, so that's about all it wants to give. All right, so I'm going to pull out about 20 inches, hold it there, put a screwdriver through to hold the thing and hold the recoil in place, so you can feed it back through the handle. And all right, so we got that. This is one of those times where I'm going to have to tape it to get it to fit through. Now this tape is going to make a liar out of me. Every other time this has worked great. Andy, how many times have you seen me do this and now it's not working?
Couple hundred.
I got my bro Andy behind the camera. This is not working. Oh, it's gross. I'm gonna have to try this again. There we go. I think I got it now. All right, that should go through the little hole. It's in. All right, sweet. And so now I can tie this in a knot. And I'm almost done with this fix. Sweet, that's fixed. That one's done. I can put it back on the pump and move on to the next fix.